that was happening earlier today, in these openings of awareness, and I'm not sure what makes one person have a different perspective and experience. None of it is really known. There's so many unknowns. But I know, like, my lived experiences, and it never really lines up with ordinary reality too much. And maybe it's okay just the way it is. But we're like told otherwise. And it's all a mystery in a way. But I guess the best thing to do is to just honor your truth, or truths, plural. But I can only speak through my experiences, and that's all the work on this channel, including the artwork, including the spiritual work. This morning there were several openings in a redirection of sorts, although it's always been here, but it's just like, we could call them little reminders, you know, those things that open us, that bring awareness, where we don't have to like blame the other or ourselves for that matter, you know. We just like move into that center of awareness. And I would imagine it looks different for everyone. But everything here on the channel is just through my experience, and I'm definitely know this isn't the only way. The path is many. The paths are many, I should say, plural. And we all have our lived experiences. But what gives us an experience? I'm not sure. I'm really not. If I had all the answers, well, it would kind of be boring, wouldn't it? I wouldn't have anything to solve. The thing about it is living into that mystery, right? And kind of opening to more, whatever that may be for each individual, right? It's not, I can't really name it because like, it's different lived experiences. But maybe sometimes labeling becomes damaging. When we do that with ourselves too, and everything does that in society, I don't know. How can one person have an experience that drives them mad but opens them up, and somebody else have an experience that just makes it harder? Why does one person overcome an obstacle versus another? Like, that has been always so interesting to me, like when I look back through my own lived experiences. Like, everything's informing me of a different kind of way. Everything that I've experienced. But yeah, they can't say that that means that's the way. It's just my way. And if you have any, like, take anything from this moment, You know, it's just to be more of what you want to be, and less attached to what it had, like what it's been labeled. You know, and I feel like on some level that's a choice, but I could be naive in saying that. And maybe we're not all able to make that choice. Maybe it's not as easy, but I know there's been plenty of times in my life where it's been hella hard, so hard. So, I don't know. It's just an interesting place to be. I think it's all just an inquiry into more, like even like when you're making an artwork, it's like asking yourself those deeper questions in relationship to all that is. At least that's how it is for me. But that's why I like love the beauty of abstraction, because it plays into that depth and like the beyond. So it's coming from that, but you know, it's just, I don't always understand it, or life, or why, you know. And there's been many times in my life where I wish I would have had the answer or closure. But, you know, there's also this other thing that's happening or has happened is, as much as it's been challenging, through that fire of creation, there's a rising. And it's just what it is for me in my life. So if this relates to you, it relates, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. You know, it can't make it relate, and I would never want to like force anything upon anyone, because that's no good. And I know what that's like when someone forces themselves on you in different kinds of ways. So no one wants to do that here. Because earlier today, the conversation that I was having, it was about that. It was about recognizing that because of all the things I've traversed and like turned over internally, well, it brings me to a different place inside of myself. But it's just a different place. And I don't understand it all, right? But I just have to be with what it is for me at the time, and of course that's always changing and rearranging, you know. But to live into that truth of awareness, the light of awareness, is something that's been calling me probably before I understood what that meant, to be honest. And who knew all the twists and turns, ups and downs, highs and lows, dead ends and detours would take me to this point. There's something about like reclaiming an inner power and strength that defies all words even, I think, that is still very unfamiliar to me. But it's very evident that it's happened, the shift. So when we just take a moment to be here now, with all the power, and all the beauty, and all the wisdom that we have inside, you know, and like kind of open up that third eye of awareness, you know, and dream into being the new creation, which is only seated in each individual heart, as far as I can see, and it doesn't have a denomination, because it's universal. And all my teachers have taught me that it was never about this It was always about this. Nonita, koti. Always. And I'd like to speak into that more, and hence this playlist, Creation Streaming. Nonita, koti. And it's important, and this morning I was getting, the old ones are rising, the old ones are rising, the old ones are rising, yeah, the old ones are rising, rising, rising. So when you stand out here in nature, I think it's like one of the most powerful teachers. This area recently has just been almost flooded. It didn't happen, but you know, water, that power, that emotion, the heart, that great opener, earth, the ground, the physical body, air is more like spirit, fire is mind, and you know, the center is the ether, that rainbow light, that colored light, that the voice, the power, all of those elements, from solid to liquid to gas, right? So it's like the alchemy, it's like the alchemy of us, like internally, you know, if you want to look at it that way. And you know, this is just one way my teachers taught me. There's many ways, but yeah, I kind of try to keep it open and honor all the ways. I'm not really tied to any one way, because that to me is dangerous, but that's just my opinion. But what happens when we talk about sovereignty and autonomy and personal power and strength? And where do you think the freedom is coming from? It's not externalized. I mean, they want to tell us that it is. They want to have us fight amongst each other about all of these things. It's designed that way, that structure. It's very limiting in one way. But when we like unplug all that stuff and move back into the like center of awareness, and remember that it's all connected. It's just about returning to remember the beauty that surrounds us, this creation. There's so much here. All we have to do is take a moment to remember